Children, in the last class we have discussed about system unit when we have talked about various components that it contains. You will remember that an average system unit contains 5 components such as motherboard, CPU, power supply, input-output ports and memory unit. We have further discussed that memory unit could be either primary or secondary type. Various types of memory units which we have discussed in the previous class were RAM, also called as random access memory, hard disk, CD drive, Blu-ray disc, etc. Children, in this chapter, we shall study memory unit in further details. The objective of this chapter is to understand the function of memory and its utility for a computer. So far, we all know that computer is a device which takes user instructions and data in a sequential manner. Sequential manner means one by one. The computer then processes that data according to instructions supplied and then prepare output to be displayed on the monitor. Now, for all stages in this functioning of a computer, a buffer is required. This buffer can be termed as memory. The concept is much like human memory concept. A computer also has memory function much like human brain has, in which they can store data. As our brain helps us in memorizing things, the computer memory also helps in memorizing data and instructions for the computer. Children, the computer memory consists of 3 things. Number 1, the user instructions which are to be processed by the computer. Number 2, the raw data that often accompany the instructions. And finally, number 3, the processed output or the information. In a digital computer, all these are stored in a form of sequences of zeros and one called bits. Bit can take only 2 forms. It can be either 0 or 1. 0 depicts the absence of electric signal, whereas 1 signifies the presence of electric signal in the circuit. In order to form a meaningful information, usually a combination of 8 bits is used in a computer. This combination of 8 bits is called as 1 byte. Byte is the basic storage unit in a memory. A byte in a computer represents a character or symbol. Sequences of characters and symbols can further be used to form a meaningful instruction or data for a computer. Children, in this slide, you can see the different units of measure of computer memory. Just like 8 bits form 1 byte, a combination of 1024 bytes form 1 kilobyte and 1024 kilobytes form 1 megabyte or 1 MB. A collection of 1024 megabytes form 1 gigabyte and so on. We have bigger memory units also such as terabyte, petabyte, etc. These are also 1000 times the smaller units as you can see in the slide. Here is a list of different memory units in ascending order. If you wish, you can stop this video and have a look on them. You shall, however, be more concerned till terabyte because you are more likely to come across all units till terabyte only for all practical purposes. I hope you all remember that computer memory can be broadly divided into 2 types, that is, primary memory and secondary memory. If you can draw analogy, you would also analyze that primary memory is the one on which computer has more dependency, and it resides on the motherboard. A computer cannot run without primary memory at all. It does not mean that Secondary memory is dispensable because secondary memory often contains operating system files as permanent reservoir. A secondary memory can be easily detached and carried away. The main purpose of secondary memory is derived from its higher storage capacity and that it can store rewritable data blocks even when computer is switched off. Primary memory can further be divided into two types, RAM and ROM, depending upon their nature, which we shall learn about them one by one in the next slide. Children's RAM or random access memory looks like blue or green colored rectangular plates which are installed against corresponding slots in the motherboard. It is the component of primary memory which is volatile. Volatile means its content vanishes or cleared off every time when the power goes off. You need to save the content back into secondary memory device if you want to use those memory chunks in the future. These contents are stored in a structured manner in a computer files in the secondary devices. This process is called as saving. Children, I am pretty sure you remember saving a Word file using Ctrl plus S button. When computers start, the instructions that are available in the operating system files residing the secondary memory or hard disk are first loaded into the RAM. This helps the computer to understand users' instruction and data entered through input devices such as keyboard, mouse, scanner, etc. Apart from various application software, files are also loaded in the RAM. At the runtime, and the data or information produced by the user interaction is also created first in RAM. That is why we need to save the content of application software files in the secondary storage if we need them in future. ROM is that component of the primary memory which is permanent in nature. It cannot be rewritten unlike secondary memory, but like secondary memory, its contents are not affected even by the absence of power in the computer. Its contents are factory supplied and cannot be altered throughout its life. It contains necessary instructions which can only be read. It is used by a computer during booting or starting. It looks like an integrated electronic chip with several legs and is found fixed in a motherboard. The example of such secondary memory devices are CDs, DVDs, Blu-ray discs, hard disk, pen drives and SSDs, etc. SSDs are solid state drives. They are detachable, rewritable, portable and act as a permanent storage. They can carry content even when the computer is switched off. They are more bulkier than primary memory in terms of storage capacity. There is a huge difference between the memory capacity of secondary memory devices and a RAM. A hard disk comes in various sizes that range from few hundred GBs to 1 or maybe few terabytes, whereas primary memory RAM is usually available in few MBs. Secondary storage devices are not found on motherboards or say CPUs, therefore they are often termed as external memory. With this, we come to the end of this lesson. Now it is time to do some exercises. Now for some self-evaluation. After reading this chapter, you will be able to know that the computer's memory is used to store data as well as information. You will also be able to know that computer's memory is measured in bits and bytes. Byte is the basic storage unit of a computer. Primary memory and secondary memory are the two types of memory. RAM and ROM are primary memory of the computer. Hard disk, CD-ROM, DVD, Blu-ray, pen drive, etc. are secondary memory. Now children, we will do some exercises based on this chapter. The first question is, take the correct option. First, dash is known as primary memory. A. RAM, B. ROM and C. both AB. Okay, so we will go for C. As we all know, RAM and ROM both are primary memory. Second is, dash memory is also known as external memory. So, external memory is secondary memory. So, we will take the option B. Third is, RAM is a dash memory. As we all know, RAM is volatile memory. So, we will go for third option, that is volatile. Number 4 is 1 terabyte is equal to dash gigabyte. Here the options are 1000, 0124 and the third is 1024. So, as we have studied in this chapter, 1 terabyte is equal to 1024 gigabyte. So, we will go for third option. Number 5th is, process of copying data from RAM to hard disk is known as we know, copying of the data is called as saving. So, we will go for first option, saving. Now children, we will do the next question, which is fill in the blanks. Here the first statement is, a computer stores data and information in its dash. So, where the computer stored its data and information? In its memory. So, we will write memory here. The second statement is, a computer's memory is measured in dash and dats. As we have studied in this chapter, computer's memory is measured in bits and bytes. So, we will write bits and bytes here. The third statement is, dash is the basic storage unit of a computer. As we have studied, the basic storage unit is byte, which consists of 8 bits, that is the sequence of zeros and ones. So, we will write byte in the third blank. Fourth statement is, dash and dash are the two types of primary memory. So, primary memory are of two types. The name is RAM and ROM. So, we will write RAM in first blank and ROM in second blank. The fifth statement is, dash is the non-volatile memory. As we have studied in this chapter, the RAM is volatile memory and ROM is non-volatile memory. So, we will write ROM in fifth blank. The sixth statement is, dash memory stores data and information permanently. So, which memory stores data permanently? Secondary memory. So, we will write secondary memory stores data and information permanently. Now children, we will go for the third question, which is write T for true and F for false statements. The first statement is, computer monitor saves the data and information. As we all know, computer monitor is used to see the output. Hence, the statement is false. We will write F in first box. The second statement is, 1 terabyte is approximately equal to 1 book. Children, if you will go back and see the picture, you will be able to see that 1 book is equal to 1 megabyte. Hence, this statement is also false. We will write F in the second box also. The third statement is, bit is the smallest unit of a computer, and we have studied in this chapter, yes, bit is the smallest unit of the computer. So, we will write T here. Fourth statement is, RAM stores our data permanently. As we all know, RAM is a volatile memory, so this statement is also false. Fifth statement is hard disk is a primary memory. As we all know, hard disk is an external device, and external device stores the data permanently. Hence, it is secondary memory. So we will write F here. Now children, we will do some question answers based on this chapter. The first question is, what is the use of computer memory? The answer is, the computer memory is used to store data as well as information temporarily and permanently. The second question is, what is primary memory? Name its two types. Children, we have studied in this chapter that primary memory is the main memory. So we will write the answer. A primary memory is the main memory, and RAM and ROM are the two types of primary memory. Children, the third question is, define bit and byte. A bit is the smallest unit of data that a computer can use, and byte consists of 8 bits, which is sequence of zeros and 1, and which is equal to 1 character. Character may be symbol, number, or any letter. So, we are done with question answers. Now children, the next question is, complete the following. We have to complete this table. First one is 1 terabyte is equal to, so the answer is 1024 gigabyte. 1 terabyte is equal to 1024 gigabyte. And 1 gigabyte is equal to 1024 megabyte. The third one is 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. Fourth, 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes. And the fifth one is 1 gigabyte is equal to 1024 megabyte. Now the last question is application based question, and the question goes like that. On your trip with family, you clicked many pictures and shot videos of various locations. In which type of memory would you prefer them to store and why? Hence the answer is, as we have studied in this chapter, the permanent memory is secondary memory, and the picture of family is very much important for us, so we will store all these pictures and videos in secondary memory. So the answer is secondary memory such as hard disk, because it has a huge storage, detachable, and they are portable. So we will store all our data in secondary memory. Okay. So here's the end of this chapter children.